it's your girl Brand New, and honey, I am back in the building. Listen, this time, honey, I am back for the Ready to Love Make a Move. This is part 2. This will be for episode 6 through 13. So, we picked up where we left off with Tamika. She checks Ashley about her insecurities. Ashley felt like Stormy didn't have her back, and she didn't. Ashley is learning that she is worthy and good enough for any man. The guys come to the house. Cameron feels like he has a lot going on. How does Zadia fit into that? I'm going to say this about Cameron. I feel like he kept telling Zadia he was a workaholic. He was always talking about work, worried about work. Ladies, that is a big red flag that you are not to attach yourself to a man like that. Cameron was handsome. He was the most likable of all the guys. Even Vernisha said that he was like very friendly. He made sure they got home, safely. They just really found him to be a joy to be around, but I feel like Zadia fell in love with potential because he kept telling her over and over again, he's so busy when it comes down to work, and honey, the way he played her, honey, at that reunion, I was like, hell no. Ashley confronts Kirstin. Ashley tells Kirstin Stormy didn't look out for her. Girl, neither did he, and I didn't like that Ashley put all of that off on Kirstin. No, not off on Kirstin, off on Stormy. Like, Ashley, he was flirting with Stormy. He was asking her more questions than he asked you. So I don't like that Ashley was like, yeah, my friend was doing too much and she was flirting with you and, I felt left out and it's her fault. No, it was both of their fault. And the smoke you had for Stormy and your confessional, you should have had that for Kirstin when y'all was face to face. But he, tried to act like he understood what she was saying. Zadia and Cameron, they go and talk. Cameron says he doesn't mind making time for his lady. Zadia is concerned about this, but decides to keep him around. Vernisha tells Jabari she's not sure if things are going to work out with them. Vernisha is about to cry. She sends Jabari home. Yeah, because he was talking all that shiggity about, you got to turn the boss hat off when you come home, and I want you in bed at a certain time. Sound like a controlling nigga to me, okay? Men really need to realize that, this day and age, women are entrepreneurs, and, they love their freedom, they love their creativity, and you don't need to try to change them and reduce them into some traditional 1950s housewife. Like, some of you niggas, y'all need to get with the times. Okay, but Jabari has since found somebody. I remember looking at that at the reunion. We're going to get to it. So Ashley and Kirstin talk. Like I said, she doesn't blame him for the flirting that him and Stormy was doing. Ashley says she's not sure if Kirstin wants the same thing she wants. And what you see on this show is a pattern of behavior from the women neglecting their intuition, knowing that these guys are not right. Because Kirstin acting like that was a big-ass red flag. All that flirting he was doing with Stormy, he didn't even ask Ashley anything. He kept complimenting Stormy. You should have sent his ass home. That's why his ass acted like that at that reunion. And honey, he was really mad. He was big mad at the reunion. And like Bernicia said, men don't like rejection. Even if it's warranted, they don't like it. I said, girl, you better preach a word, honey. Oh, and that whole situation with Kirstin and Ashley, it reminded me of Judge Toller when she said on her show, y'all know, Divorce Court, she told this woman, never let a man tell you more than once he doesn't want you. And that's what I got for Ashley. Like, girl, you just kept giving this man chance after chance because of his potential. He looked like the guys that you are used to being affiliated with. Okay? Another thing I noticed is Kirstin gamed Ashley right before she made her decision. He said all the right things, not meaning any of the things that he said. Because once again, look at how his ass acted down to the reunion. He was cold. He was dismissive. He was straight trifling. He's in his confessional saying that he's the man. He's still here. He was like talking like that. He was kind of bragging. And that's how some of these guys are. They get very like arrogant that you are, like keeping them around and yeah, she gonna keep putting up with my shit, all I gotta do is say the right stuff at the right time, and child, bye. His ass would have been gone. He don't look that good to me. So Ashley ignores her intuition, okay, and all the red flags associated with this man. Sharice likes Keith, but he isn't well traveled. I believe that was the one that mentioned that, where the hell he said he went? I forgot where he said he went. It was a real basic place. And Sharice was like, that ain't nothing. So Sharice sends Keith home because she kind of feel like he's a homebody. He's predictable. He's boring. Vernisha feels like her and Tabari, and I was really shocked at how their situation played out, right? But we're going to get to it. Vernisha feels like her and Tabari are a much better fit than her and Jabari. Zadia walks out of her date with a guy. Sharice goes out with Danzy. Yeah, Zadia was getting real impatient with that guy that she was out on a date with. Like, this is around the time Zadia is kind of sick of these blind dates because she just liked Cam so much, And Sharice goes out with Danzy. He's in pharmaceutical sales. I like that he was talkative and he was like leading their conversation. So I felt like all of that was cool. Danzy has his dream job and house. I like his attitude. I felt like he was very positive. Ashley goes on a date with Keith, who is a high school principal. Ashley and Kenneth both agree they can wait on having kids. I think Ashley had mentioned she wants to continue to enjoy the rest of her 30s. It's been 10 years, though, since his last relationship. That's a red flag. Okay? He has entertained situationships. That's somebody that's emotionally unavailable. That's another red flag. Vernisha goes out with Cantrell, a high school basketball coach. He's a mentor to the youth. I like when he said green flags. Like he mentioned, what are the green flags of a person? Because a lot of people get caught up with negativity, so I like when he brought that to the conversation. Vernisha says she likes Cantrell. She says he's easy on the eyes. Ashley and Zadia talk about Kirstin. He's the guy she normally goes after, and that's what a lot of women do. They say they want something different, but yet they will continue to entertain the same men. She also says she's still in touch with Donald. Zadia invites Don and Kirstin to her party. Zadia has her party on a rooftop. Her close friends and family cannot attend. Zadia hasn't seen Cam yet. I hated that he waited so long to come into the party. I guess better late than never, but I didn't like how she was waiting. Like Zadia was anticipating Cam, coming to that party. Cantrell is very nervous. Tabari went and got Vernisha some food. I'm like, that's right. Take care of your queen, honey, okay? Tabari seems too goofy, though, for Vernisha. She, wants to see a more serious side out of him. And I agree with a lot of what Vernisha had to say about Tabari. Like, it's cool, you the jokey joke guy, you're positive, but, I want to see some seriousness when it comes from you. So Zadia is still getting impatient, waiting on Cam. She is sick of him saying he's making time for her. Yeah, if somebody keeps saying, I got to make time for you, and I got to do this, and everybody knows, honey, grown people do what they want to do, and if you are important enough to anybody, they will make the time. And to me, she always would come second to his work. He seems like a workaholic. Kirstin didn't show up to Zadia's party, and I'm like, Ashley, girl, that's a red flag, girl. That's why you shouldn't have gave that brother Tucker another chance. Look at what he did to you with Stormy, and then he didn't show up to the party and didn't have no real good excuse. Girl, make it make sense. Donald shows up to the party. Ashley is excited. Sharice talks to Mizell. He says he wants a woman that loves herself. Danzy has been overly drinking, and he's dancing and laughing and just acting a fool. Danzy puts his hands on Sharice. She snaps on him. She's like, did I tell you could touch me? Zadia is getting sad because Cam still hasn't arrived. Cam finally shows up with a gift. Mizell begins talking to Vernisha. He's flirting with her. And I thought that him and Vernisha would make a, cuter couple than him and Sharice. But that damn, and it'd be the fine ones too. Don't you be mad. The fine ass older men, they gotta play the games. They gotta be player, okay? Vernisha talks with Ashley. They talk about Kirstin and how he hasn't called or texted her. Zadia and Sharice talk about Danzy and how he got drunk and was clowning around. Sharice is feeling Mizell. Vernisha tells Ashley how she needs to see a serious side from Tabari. Sharice wants to keep Mizell around, and just when she's feeling him, right, Vernisha tells Sharice that Mizell asked for her number and has been texting her, and he stopped texting Sharice, player, okay, and then tried to deny the whole thing. Make that make sense. At least get your damn lies together. And I never liked how he tried to downplay Vernisha. I think that Vernisha was appalled. I was, too. I'm like, Vernisha is the sweetest one on here. She has a good head on her shoulders. She was the most logical one. She was very motherly, very mature. I really like Vernisha. And I didn't like how the men did her. Tabari, call your girl when y'all are not around each other. I don't like guys like that. Ashley tells Tamika that Don has been consistent. Kirstin has been MIA. Vernisha brings up Mizell and how she gave him her number. She agreed to go out on a date with him. Sharice is not feeling Mizell anymore. She feels disrespected, as she should. The ladies have a mixer. They confront their guys. Ashley confronts Kirstin about not reaching out to her. Ashley then goes to get him some water. For what? I ain't serving you, nigga. Fuck you. Shit. Okay? Ladies, never try to overly do things for guys that can't show up for you. He was flirting with her friend, Stormy, complimenting her, not even complimenting Ashley on their little group date, right? Then he doesn't show up to a party that she invites him to, and you accommodating this nigga, getting him water, he gonna keep playing you. Never do that. You tell his ass, go get you something to drink. Shit. See, that was that pick me part of Ashley. Ashley got stronger, though, in the end, and I'm happy for my girl. Ashley really grew on me, you guys, because at first she was too much for me. But I really like Ashley for the show. Very entertaining, very outgoing, and, you know, she's just excited. I think I will attribute some of her personality traits, you know, just with her being a happy-go-lucky, you know, type of a person. But, yeah, she was doing that pick-me shit with Kirstin. Girl, he is not that cute, Ashley. So Charisse confronts Mizell about him texting Vernisha. Mizell got to stuttering. He got caught up. Tamika calls him out, and I like that Tamika kept her foot on his brother-tucking neck. Okay? I love that about Tamika, and I hope they redo this show with some more girls. Bring Vernisha back. Hell, bring Ashley back. I don't think Ashley and Don's situation gonna go anywhere, because I don't like Don's ass, but we gonna get to it. But yeah, Mizell tries to downplay his interest in Vernisha. And yeah, that whole time he was looking at her like he wanted her. And, you know, and it's cool if you feeling her a little bit more than Charisse. Like, just be honest. Then, he's so fake. He got to making up some type of lie about how she was concerned about him missing a bag. Some stupid shit that he came up with, honey. I didn't really catch it. I was like, nigga, you lying, and it don't even matter. Tamika tells Mizell to stop lying and be upfront. Charisse tells Mizell he's confusing her. She sends him home, rightfully so. That's one thing I will give Charisse. I feel like, she was sending niggas home. Even Maurice, when he act like he couldn't open up his damn mouth on their date, she sent his ass home. Charisse would send these niggas on their way. And I felt like my girl Zadia, I love you, Zadia, very beautiful woman. And, you know, Zadia was cool, laid back, but she just kept hanging on to the potential of Cam. Her and Ashley. And I felt like Charisse and Vernisha, they would send these niggas on their way and show no mercy, honey. Okay? Zadia feels like Cameron is always working, and if he ain't working, he's talking about work, and I don't like niggas like that. I feel like it's good to be ambitious, but damn, I don't need to keep hearing about what you need to do. Okay? Cameron talks like he has reservations about making time for Zadia. That is one big-ass red flag. I wish Zadia would have, like, kept going on the blind dates. I think she got annoyed with them because she just wasn't feeling the guys, but girl, you always make sure you have a whole bunch of different options, at least 3 different men. Yeah, you can like one more than the others, but yeah, with Cam and the way he was hot and cold and ambiguous, and well, one minute he's saying all the right things, the next minute, well, I don't know if I have time, and then it sounded like he felt guilty for making time for her. Well, I could be, what he said at the reunion, I could be hiring somebody to do this, that, and the third for me. Like, no, it's a no. It's a no. It's either yes or no, nigga. That's what I have learned from this show. It's either yes or no. It's either black or white. No shades of gray, honey. But yeah, so he didn't gave her all these red flags. That's why when they got down to the reunion and that shit be played out the way it did, I couldn't even feel bad for my girl Zadia. Because this nigga has been like, you know, he just been wishy-washy, you know? So Kirstin apologizes, but child, he ain't sorry. He had no good excuse for his behavior, for not showing up to the party and not texting and calling Ashley. Ashley puts Kirstin on the back burner. Kirstin is not fighting for her. Ashley tells Tamika she likes the idea of Kirstin. And Tamika tells her she needs somebody to show up for her. And ladies, always get with the man that shows up for you. You invite him somewhere at the last minute, he show up because he want to be there. A man that wants you will make time for you. He will put you first. Vernisha has to decide between Tabari and Cantrell. Vernisha tells Tabari she loves his free spirit, but doesn't want him to just be the funny guy at the party. Tamika calls Don to the rescue Ashley. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm trying to read these damn notes, okay? Look like Miss Robinson, honey, was writing some chicken scratch, okay? Damn, it look like Miss Wanda took these damn notes. He showed up, and that's good. Okay, and that says a lot, that Don can be called on at the last minute. He gonna show up, have a decent attitude. I like Don more for Ashley than Kirstin, but then Don did some bullshit that I didn't like. We're gonna get to it. Ashley asks Don, what does he want from her? He says he wants a solid friendship to organically grow into an excited, impeccable, and he wants them to be an excited, impeccable couple. Ashley says he texts her all the time, and she's gonna, keep him around. She see him making efforts. Ashley and Vernisha, they go on blind dates, and it's like a dance date. And one of the guys is a project manager. The other one is a general manager for a warehouse. One is 38, the other 31. Kind of young, but, I say it was a waste of time. Vernisha felt like they were too young. Charisse talks to Will. He's a community engagement guy. He supports fatherless boys. He was never married. I liked him. I thought he was cool. Brandon is a personal trainer, another workaholic. Will says he would have Charisse's back. Donald talks with Ashley about toys in the bedroom. And who hurt him? Donald says he's never been in a healthy relationship. Donald then reveals he's been married before. This gives Ashley doubts because she's like, why you ain't never bring this up to me? Donald had got married in some type of shotgun wedding. I guess they just like went to the courthouse. He was only married for a year. Well, it was just a year, girl. You ain't missing out. Now, if he had been married for like 5 to 10 years, that would be more serious. But that probably didn't cross his mind to bring it up to you because it didn't last that long. Tamika sets Charisse up on a blind date since she has no keepers. Zadia visits Cameron's house for the first time. Cameron talks about how he has a lot of his money invested in crypto and the stock market. He doesn't seem to be open to moving to DC. That was another red flag. It would be Zadia that would have to be the sacrificial lamb in their relationship and make all the compromises. And in my opinion, Zadia should have invested more time in other guys. Because Cameron is always busy and he's always talking about work a lot. Yeah, he's attractive, but honey, that ain't enough. Charisse is attracted to Nick. Tabari spends a lot of time in Mississippi. Vernisha is worried about the distance in their relationship. Zadia and Cameron talk, and Cameron says this process is moving too fast. Nigga, you signed up to be on a whole TV show to date different women so you could find the one. Like, what are you doing? Okay? He says he has a lot of issues with his business that he needs to work on. Zadia sends this. Oh, Zadia didn't send this man away, honey. I told her in these notes. Zadia needs to send this man on his way. Yeah, there's too many red flags, too many excuses. Like Charisse said down to that reunion. She was right about that. Tamika and Charisse, they talk about Nick. She says she's feeling him. They have a mixer. Don does poetry. Will brings Charisse gifts. And the other guy was empty-handed. That's a red flag. Ashley is still hung up on Don, not telling her he was married. I'm like, let it go, Ashley. Vernisha keeps Tabari. Ashley keeps Don. Don and Ashley kiss. Charisse is having better conversations with Will than with Nick. I like that she confided in Zadia and Vernisha about, how she was feeling about, I guess Nick. I feel like Charisse chose Nick over Will, and that was a mistake. Yeah, because Nick was just cute, but I felt like Will was more, engaged, and he was involved with the community, and, he seemed like a decent guy. He just seemed like he was just more committed to getting to know her. In my opinion, Nick is just like Maurice. He doesn't talk enough. He's cute, but that ain't enough. Vernisha goes out with Mizell. Vernisha is not feeling Mizell after his lies caught up with him. Mizell tries to smooth things over. Vernisha didn't like that. He downplayed her. Mizell begins licking them lips again. I'm like, fool, what's up with you older men and all that licking your lips? Okay, I got something you can lick. I know that's what Vernisha was thinking. That pissed me off about Mizell because it's like, damn, you fine as hell, but you gotta act like a douche. Ugh. Vernisha asks Mizell, is he still interested in Charisse? And he says, yes. Why would you talk to Vernisha then, you weirdo? You act like you was feeling Vernisha more. I didn't like how he played that. Nigga, you could play Uno and you could play Monopoly, but don't play with me, okay? Vernisha felt like he was playing games and trying to run game. This is an example of a man doing a straight U-turn on you after acting interested. Charisse goes on a date with Maurice. He's been calling her every day. I bet after you dismiss his ass, I wouldn't have gave him another chance. I didn't really like Maurice. He's too quiet and I don't know. It's just something about him I didn't really like. But, that's who she ended up with, so. He said that her inside matches her outside. And I'm like, girl, he just saying the right shit to get back in. Kirstin sends Ashley roses and chocolates and a card. He asks her to forgive him for his shortcomings. And I'm like, child, I would have been done with him. Yeah, because Kirstin knew he messed up, but he wanted to keep stringing Ashley along, right? It looked like the only reason him and Maurice got their shiggity together was because they were put on the bench. Yeah, and men don't like rejection. That's why they don't like when you ignore their ass. Kirstin definitely hit Ashley with some intermittent reinforcement. Ashley is speechless over what Kirstin did for her. Ashley tells Kirstin once again she's attracted to him and that he reminds her of all the guys she's dated in the past. Her acknowledging that is a red flag. But once again, she ignores her intuition. Kirstin says to her, don't do that. Ashley asks him what? What does he want from her? And he begins telling her he wants to have fun. I'm like, that's a red flag. Ashley asks Kirstin, why are you just now getting your shiggity together? He says you don't know what you have till it's gone. He says he's finishing her sentences, so they must be vibing. Shit. I say he knew in that moment he had her wrapped around his little finger. Yeah, he knew he had Ashley because Ashley was very attracted to him. They agree to keep in touch, but Ashley made a comment in her confessional questioning if this is all real. That's another red flag if you questioning his intentions. Look at his behavior. Behavior reflects intentions. Y'all make sure y'all go get that t-shirt or that sweatshirt, honey. Zadia goes on a date with Richard. She wasn't looking forward to it. That's a red flag. Richard compliments her skin. He asks her about what she studied in school. She said exercise / science. Richard tells Zadia that he likes that she is an avid reader, focused on self-growth. Zadia is having a good time, and she didn't think about Cam. Ashley goes out with Don. She says she wants a man that fights for her. She asks Don what his plans were for the future. He says he wants them to grow and evolve. Ashley says somebody from her past tried to creep back up. She's talking about Kirstin. Don didn't want to hear that. He feels like Ashley is trying to make him jealous. Ashley tells Don she's sick of looking at his loafers. Charisse goes on a date with Nick, and he talks about a new bar he wouldn't mind taking Charisse to. Charisse wants Nick to take her in a streetcar. Zadia and Cam, they go on their date. Zadia had such a huge smile while they were walking. But as soon as they get to the table, she begins complaining about the process of the show. She really doesn't want to date other guys. Like, this is when Zadia was sick of going on the blind dates. But Cam tells her that he got to work. Yeah, so he ended up telling her, he got to work, and he's putting his work off to the side just so they can hang out. That's what you're supposed to do, nigga. You signed up to do the show. So red flag, red flag. Okay? Like I said, he talk about work too damn much. And it's like all the time. Cam gets to telling her that he's not available to love the way he wants to love and bring the type of romance he wants to provide. And I get he's being honest with her, and he wants her to keep her options open, but it also sounds like he's emotionally unavailable. Cam tells her within a year or two his romance level is going to go up. Zadia says she's confused. Zadia feels like she's questioning Cam and their connection, which is another big red flag. He's wasting your time. Vernisha and Tabari go on a date. Tabari wants to come off more serious. He's doing a good job. He asks her about her spirituality. She says it's non-denominational, and she doesn't have to prove her walk with God. He talks about his family and their relationship with God. They both look forward to spending more time together in the future. Charisse tells Tamika that her date went good with Maurice. Ashley is very doubtful about Kirstin. She doesn't know if he wants a wife or girlfriend, which is a red flag. I think Ashley feels like Kirstin was gaming her, and was just telling her what she wanted to hear so he could stay around. Vernisha tells Tamika Mizell was full of ish. Vernisha says Mizell is still interested in Charisse. Charisse says, hell no, I'm not interested. I don't want him. They then talk about Zadia's date with Richard. Zadia says he was very attentive and gave her a lot of compliments. She would be open to a second date. Zadia mentions how she was over going on all these blind dates. That way her and Cam can have more dates together. But he flipped the script when he says that she should go on more dates. And I'm like, if a man is trying to get you to go out on more dates with other men and not him, that's a red flag of he's not available. So yes, honey, when it came to Zadia and Cam, the red flags were red flagging. I also love that the other ladies gave their opinions about Cam's behavior. They mainly feel like he's wasting Zadia's time. The ladies have another mixer. The guys arrive with flowers. Vernisha tells Tabari she hasn't heard from him all day. He said he sent a text. Cam tells Zadia he's done with work and taking the day off. Zadia spills her drink on herself. Cam talks to Tamika. Cam says he was not aware of what he signed up for. Tamika says she doesn't believe him. I love that Tamika, honey, she would call these niggas out like, I don't believe you. You're lying. You're lying. Tamika feels like he may be stringing Zadia along. Or maybe he has fallen in love and he doesn't know how to deal with his feelings for her. Cam says he cares for Zadia. He's not stringing her along. He's scared of a commitment so far away. Tabari apologizes to Vernisha about not picking up the phone and calling her. Don and Ashley talk. She tells him that Kirstin is back in the picture, even though she feels he tries to overcompensate for bad behavior. Don doesn't want to hear about any other guys that Ashley is dating. Vernisha tells Tabari he pissed her off by not texting her. Zadia comes out looking amazing. I love the commentary that Cam gave her. He apologized for sabotaging what they have by talking too much about work and talking too much about the future. So next, we have Zadia. She decides to keep Cam. Charisse feels like Nick is young and inexperienced, so she sends him home. She chooses to keep Maurice. Tamika tells the ladies to no more blind dates. She tells the ladies you are going to meet your keeper's friends and family next. Maurice brings his daughter and his cousin. Cam brings his good friend. Don brings his friend. Ashley told them what she likes about Don. Don's female friend, who is very opinionated, honey, she asks Ashley, why did she eliminate Don? Ashley said because of a lack of communication. Don's female friend says she was with Don, watching him, I guess, respond to Ashley. But I was confused because Ashley said she still didn't hear from him. His friend is going really hard for him, saying Don has a lot to give and a woman has to be deserving of him. And I felt like she was doing team too much. I was team Ashley. Ashley was better than me. I would have cussed her the F out and told Don, screw you, and I would have got up and left. have. Like, don't have a female friend that's acting like she your damn woman or she's screwing you on the low. That's what that was given to me. Instead of Don checking his friend for being overly aggressive with Ashley, he sits back and acts as if he doesn't know what was going on. And to me, that was a big-ass red flag to Ashley. Like, girl, he don't know how to speak up for you and protect you and have your back. That's very important in a relationship. Ashley says she has a whole wardrobe for him. And, the friend was getting on Ashley about that. Don't be trying to change his clothes. I don't think she wanted to change his clothes. She just wanted to see him in more, casual clothes. Vernicia even mentioned that this is the first time she's seen him without loafers. Oh, and Don's female friend called Ashley aggressive. I'm like, ain't that the pot calling the kettle black, girl? You aggressive. Okay. Don felt like Ashley was attacking his clothes, and like I said, I don't think so. She just wanted to see him in something more casual and relaxed. Vernicia felt like Don should have defended Ashley more, and I agree. Cam's friend says he admires Cam's discipline. Cam says he really loves what he does. He talks about work all the time. His friend says Cam wants a relationship. He just has to make time. Tabari introduces Vernicia to his mom, and they hit it off really well. Vernicia asks his mom some questions like, what type of person is Tabari? And she says he's hardworking and family-oriented. Vernicia mentions to Tabari's mom that they have communication issues because Tabari does not, get in touch with her enough when they are apart. Tabari's mom mentions, he's a man. And I'm like, here we go with that shit, using that as an excuse. Okay, I'm like, girl, stop making excuses for his behavior. When a man or a woman uses the excuse that a man is like this because he's a man, it's just that. It's an excuse. Tabari needs to be accountable for his behavior and change the damn behavior. She say, call her more. Like, what the hell? What's so hard? Maurice's daughter and cousin tell Charisse about Maurice, and he's a good man and family-oriented. His daughter says he's ready to love. Tabari tells Vernicia his family really enjoyed her, and they are still talking about her, which is good. Vernicia tells Tabari she has lost a lot of people close to her. Zadia and Charisse talk about Ashley meeting Don's female friend. Charisse got to saying, did they ever kiss or fool around? Zadia says in her confessional, why does Charisse always want to think the worst of people? I know that, yeah. I agree with Zadia about Charisse. Charisse is nasty. And what was very interesting was she never was nasty with the men she was talking to. It was only like Zadia and the women. She was getting smart and had this attitude problem. I told y'all, Charisse is one of those women that just want to be mad about something. Zadia asked Charisse, did her and LJ ever date? Charisse says that they are just friends. Zadia says she saw them kiss. Charisse swears it was innocent. Charisse gets upset and walks away. And Charisse feels like Zadia has been trying to ruin her reputation. And I'm just like, if it's not true, Charisse, about you and LJ, you didn't kiss him in an inappropriate way, why are you getting so mad? So I'm like, a hit dog will holler, honey. So she tells Zadia that Zadia is miserable and mean. No, that's what you are, Charisse. She says Zadia is in competition with everybody. Charisse says she saw how Zadia treated Camille. Zadia is not as heated as Charisse. Charisse seems to be the main one, bitter and bothered. So in my opinion, Charisse is the one with the problem. So Charisse and Maurice, they go and get pedicures, and they're getting closer and enjoying each other's company. Cam and Zadia meet up to discuss their friends and family date. Cam says Zadia is very supportive of his career. Cam says he wants Zadia to be happy. Then he says he's not all in. You can't really fall in love this quick. I got where he was coming from, but it was like a bad choice of words, like the way he was wording things. And I'm like, child, stop causing all this confusion, Cam. And I told y'all, God is not the author of confusion. So all of that gives Zadia pause. Ashley meets with Don, and they discuss his lady friend. Ashley made a lot of great points about his lady friend. Ashley tells Don, you called me aggressive, but your lady friend, she was aggressive at the table too. And I agree with Ashley. And Don didn't say ish, which is a red flag. Don is at the table looking down, looking agitated. He says in his confessional, Ashley needs to come at him in a positive manner. Child, put her in a positive situation with a positive friend of yours. If you don't get out of here, Don. And I'm just like, how do you come at somebody in a positive manner and they haven't defended you or had your back? He calls her DMX. And if I were Ashley, I would have got up and left his ass there. To me, he was being overly judgmental and overly sensitive. Ashley finally got up and left, and I don't blame her. So next, the episode starts out with Zadia and Charisse going back and forth over Zadia accusing Charisse of kissing her male friend in an inappropriate manner. Charisse feels Zadia is only accusing her of kissing her friend because she has screwed Cam. And I'm like, the way Cam is always working, when did she get time to screw that man? I'll Team Zadia. Sharice, in my opinion, got a little too mad about the incident for it to not be true about her and LJ. Ashley and Don, they try to work on their communication issues. Sharice tells Maurice she loves that he introduced her to his family, but eventually one of them will have to move to where the other is located. Sharice doesn't want a long-distance relationship. Bernicia tells Tabari she is thankful she met his family, but she doesn't want a long-distance relationship. Ashley decides to keep Don around, but I would have sent his ass on his way. He needs to learn how to defend her and have her back. He told her that his female friend was wrong and apologized. I'm like, why the hell she didn't apologize to her face? I didn't like how he tried to act dumbfounded about his friend's behavior towards Ashley. Tabari takes Bernicia for a ride and to get something to eat. Don takes Ashley ziplining. Ashley is scared to death. Don was very supportive, trying to get Ashley to go on the zip line. Tabari tells Bernicia if he wants something different, he has to move differently. And I'm like, why the hell you don't call her more, fool? And he needs to work on his communication. Sharice and Maurice go on a romantic picnic. Sharice is worried about moving to New Orleans. She's scared to start over. She doesn't want to leave her mom and dog. Cameron and Zadia do a photo shoot. Zadia has anxiety on what's next for her and Cam. Cam wants to leave things open between him and Zadia. He doesn't want a serious long-distance relationship. Like, well, why are you here, nigga? Zadia needs to let him go because he's not ready to fully commit. Cam tells Zadia, do you rather me tell you it's all good and I not come through? And I can respect, that he was being honest with her, but dude, this is a show. Her heart is on the line. You can't be playing with her heart like this. The ladies tell Tamika about their concerns they have about their men. Sharice is worried about Maurice switching up on her. Tamika asks the ladies what they think about Maurice and Sharice's relationship. Bernicia and Ashley can see that, it's working for them. They both seem happy with each other. Zadia says, no comment. Bernicia says she had a great time with Tabari. Bernicia says a man will change for the woman he really wants. I feel like some of that is a lie. Okay, some of that. It just really depends. It depends. It really do, because sometimes a man just will be the same damn person. Okay? It will look like he's changed. And it depends on the woman. Like, for instance, a lot of women are in narcissistic relationships with men, and they are the codependent in the relationship. They will never admit to you that they are the codependent, that they are getting the scraps in the relationship, and they're being disrespected, and they're not going to admit to that. So, yeah. I don't feel like some of that is true. Some of it is and some of it's not. Because I feel like a lot of women are unaware of the exact relationship that they are in and how they are showing up and participating in that relationship. Because a man could be a bad man to one woman because she ain't gonna put up with his shit and she's not desperate to be with him. Whereas you can have a whole another woman, she's desperate to be with anybody and he's the greatest man to her. Not because he's treating her right, she's just so damn desperate to have a man. And there's that, honey, okay? Bernicia is still worried about the distance and communication with Tabari. Zadia says her and Cam had a great date and she's struggling between her heart and her head. She likes him, but in the back of her mind, she knows he's not going to be able to give her what she needs, which is why you should have been sent this nigga on his way. Ashley says she looked at Don in a different light on their date. Like, he challenged her, he showed a more adventurous side, and, she's starting to feel him a little bit more. I would have got rid of his ass, after he pulled that bullshiggity with that friend. Okay, so next. Some of the ladies choose their men to make a move with. Sharice chooses Maurice. Bernicia dismisses Tabari. That Bernicia, honey. I didn't really see that. I thought she was kind of hanging there with him, but he wasn't calling her enough. And Tabari kind of felt like Bernicia was being one-sided. She wasn't really open to him, especially with her body language, and she wasn't calling him. And Bernicia was like, honey, I ain't chasing a man. I know that's right, girl. I feel like men should lead, especially in the beginning, right? With the, calling and texting. Zadia and Cam talk, and she decides to keep him. She should have sent his ass on. Sharice feels like Zadia is settling, and she is. Y'all know Zadia is my girl. Sharice is not, but Sharice was right. Now we got the reunion. So the ladies began talking about their sisterhood. Sharice says the ladies were all very easy to get along with. Zadia was making faces, honey. They get into the Zadia versus Sharice beef. Ashley and Bernicia were very shocked by Sharice and all the cussing she was doing. So they ended up seeing Sharice's behavior on the show. She never acted, I guess, that way with them until the, reunion. She ended up cutting up on Ashley. But I was like, look at your ass. And they were looking at her completely different. And Sharice is a nasty gutter snipe. I told y'all. Okay, so Zadia felt like Sharice was a bully. Sharice was very dismissive and didn't want to talk about, her and Zadia's issues. I love Zadia's bob, honey. It was bobbing at the reunion. I felt like Zadia looked the prettiest. Tamika had to tell Sharice to be quiet because she kept cutting Zadia off. Sharice is fake as hell. They addressed Zadia lying about being at Cam's house. Y'all remember that whole thing. Zadia says she lied because she felt like it wasn't everybody's business, and she did wake up in the house, so she feels like technically she didn't lie. Charisse feels like Zadia is messy. Charisse denies kissing LJ in the mouth. Charisse has been betrayed by women in the past. The ladies chime in. Charisse begins accusing the ladies of ganging up on her. I don't feel like they ganged up on her or took sides. I felt like they were very neutral with her and Zadia's issues. Vernisha tells her, we never took sides when it came to you and Zadia. Ashley tells Charisse she's rude. Okay? And I told y'all, Charisse is a bitch. She's one of those women that has a hard time getting along with other women. She even said it on the show. See, this is why I don't do women. I think this when Stormy came out. We'll get to it. She says she felt left out of the circle. Girl, that's on you because you wanted to have an attitude. Okay? Charisse storms off stage. She's defensive and controlling. Vernisha defends Charisse, saying, she was bullied. She's had a hard time with women in the past. I call BS. They bring Kirstin and Don out. Kirstin refuses to talk. He's giving one-word answers. That's why his ass should have been sent home. Raggedy, dusty fool. Don was positive, and he was, communicating well with everybody. Ashley says she didn't choose Kirstin because she wanted to get away from her patterns of the past. She wanted something real. Kirstin looked bitter that he wasn't chosen. Vernisha said it best. Men hate rejection, even if it's warranted. I was like, girl, now that is a word. All the ladies, including the hoes, were disgusted with Kirstin's attitude. Don's female friend comes on stage, and now all of a sudden she's team Ashley and Don. I was like, whoa, fake heifer. And the same thing that she's accusing Ashley of in their meetup, she acted the same way. Like, she was combative and nasty and aggressive with Ashley, so that pissed me off. I was team Ashley. I was like, get her. So they go back and forth. Don starts saying how Ashley began saying she's the star of the show. I guess they didn't, have this on camera because I didn't see it. You're here for me. And Ashley was like, true. I thought that was funny. Don feels like his female friend defended him. They didn't play her talking, that shiggity. I'm talking about Ashley. So Don, in my opinion, he should have told his female friend to pipe down. Don and Ashley agree that they are just friends. So I don't think they really made a love connection. They just go be cool and see where it go. But honey, we gonna see that Ashley again. We gonna see Ashley and Vernisha and Zadia again. Mark my words. And I'll be here for it. They get into Charisse's package. He ain't been to Miami. Oh, that's what I put about Maurice. And it's like, Charisse, you kind of settled because Maurice, he didn't move to Miami. You ended up moving. Well, I guess she hadn't moved just yet, but she had been in New Orleans. I guess they went to the Essence Fest together and had a good time. So good for them. They do both seem like they are enjoying each other's company. Charisse seems like a nicer person when she's with Maurice. She do. I told y'all she one of them women. She only nice when a man is around her, honey. So Charisse decides to move to New Orleans. Mizell is on the stage with his sexy ass, but he a liar, okay? A liar. A lie, don't care who tell it. He gets to lying about his interest in Vernisha. He called and texted her, sent pics of him and his damn dog, but then tried to deny all of that. Vernisha didn't like that at all, honey. She didn't like he downplayed her. They talk about Vernisha and Jabari and their lifestyles and how they weren't compatible. Jabari wants more of a traditional woman, like a 1950s housewife. Okay? Jabari is one of those male chauvinists that wants you to compromise, and he's unwilling to compromise because he feels like he's the man and he should be able to run the show. Jabari says he felt like his character was berated. Vernisha said he never communicated with her enough while they were apart. Tabari says communication goes both ways. Her body language wasn't inviting. I'm like, what? What does that mean? Did you expect to hit it, fool? Vernisha says it was like pulling teeth. She doesn't believe in chasing men. He said she never would initiate texts. Vernisha says her and Tabari don't talk. Her and Jabari had a better exit, and they still communicate over social media. And Jabari has moved on, found him a new lady love. They bring Camille and Stormy to the stage. Camille says Zadia did not listen to what Cam was saying, and I agree. He was basically telling her the whole time that he was unavailable. Vernisha says Cam was a gentleman to all the ladies, making sure they got home safely. He under-promises but over-delivers. And then Tamika got to saying, well, it sounds like he may be a good man then, But it's either black or white, you guys, when it comes to these men. Okay? Ain't no shades of gray. Ain't no, you're either available or unavailable, fool. They get on Stormy and how she was behaving on the Kirstin date. I didn't like how Stormy was denying everything. She was unaware of her bad behavior. Girl, bye. Stormy got angry by what Ashley was saying in her confessional because that was the first time she's seen it at the reunion. She says in the future she will dress down. Ashley tells her she didn't feel a part of the date and it was her date. And I agree with Ashley. Zadia tells Ashley to speak up about things when they are bothering her in the moment. Because Stormy mentioned they had a whole conversation after the date and Ashley never addressed, the issues she had with her when they was out on the date. And I'm like, Ashley, that don't even sound like Ashley. Okay, Ashley looked like she'd be ready to get a brother Tucker together. So I was like, child, that don't make no sense. So Stormy storms off the stage because she feels attacked because, Ashley is accusing her of flirting with Kirstin when he was out on the date. Ashley chases after her. Cherie says, "This is why I don't do women." Girl, shut up, okay? It seems like she suffers from some type of internalized misogyny where she likes men more than women because, like I told you, I watched Cherie. She didn't act up with those men. The only thing, it was one guy. She was like, "Oh, did I tell you you could touch me?" Like, she kind of said that a certain way, but the rest of the guys she was real nice and friendly to, but not with the women, honey. Okay? They get into Zadia and Cam's package. And then Cam, he had never came to DC. Like, once again, everything is one-sided. It's on Zadia. So, once again, he put work before Zadia. I'm not shocked. Zadia tells us she was the one doing all the calling and texting with Cam. Cam says she called and texted. Cam says that he called and texted her back. I'm like, that's what the hell you supposed to do, nigga? You want brownie points? What is up with you weirdos? Cam brought Zadia a gift. And I was looking at Cam. I'm like, he's a cutie, but child, I ain't got time for his game. So he ain't that cute. Okay, but I did like he brought her a gift. It was a picture of Zadia, and he had it framed. Cam then said that it was a relief when they stopped filming the show. I was like, oh, Cam, you keep saying all the wrong shit at the wrong time, at the wrong place, to the wrong person, for the wrong reason. It's just like, Cam, just shut up, look cute, okay? He then starts saying he actually needs to hire some more people to work with him. But he's sacrificing that to be here with Zadia. Zadia then says, well, don't do me any favors. He hugs her very tight. And then he exits the show. I was like, ooh, child, you niggas ain't shit. Child, is all types of piss and poo all up in the dating scene with the men on this here show. Child. Cherie says he makes too many excuses. I agree. But Zadia did what a lot of us do, which is we give too many second chances. Yeah, she just gave him way too many chances. She should have been sent his ass on his way. And we make way too many excuses for some of these men's bad behavior. Zadia went off the chemistry and potential that she and Cam had. Don and Ashley, they like run off stage out of sexual frustration, and then they run right back. Charisse and Maurice, they plan on traveling, and they plan on, continuing to date, and they want to see, where it takes them. Ashley has learned to put herself first. I like that Tamika complimented them on what they have all, learned from this process. She said they are, different women than when she first met them. Like Bernicia, she really refuses to settle. Zadia was kind of closed off at first, but now, she's open, even though things didn't work out with Cam. And, Ashley, is doing her, looking out for her, and not trying to, repeat her same dating patterns, honey, from yesteryear. So, yeah, I think there's been some growth and change with these ladies. I really enjoyed this show, you guys. I really like this whole Ready to Love, Make a Move. Like, I would be down to review another one of these. I'm going to try to look at Ready to Love, the show. Hopefully, they don't get to aggravate me, or I will not review it, so I got to catch up with that. So, I will keep y'all posted on that if I plan on reviewing that. But this was a very good show. I ended up liking all the ladies, all their different personalities. I love the lessons that they learned along the way. The biggest lesson that I could take away from this show is, listen to the whispers so you don't have to hear the screams. All these men always showed these women who they was. Especially that damn Cam. All the damn excuses he kept making, about work and putting Zadia off for work. And, so it's like, ladies, when a man keep making excuses about how he can't show up, he ain't ready for love, and, he'll be ready in a year or two, you got to listen to that and put yourself first and know that you deserve the best. And on that note, honey, I am up out of here. I just couldn't believe how these niggas played them. I'm not really shocked by Kirstin, but I was like, damn, he is a real asshole. And that shows you how a man, because I knew when he was giving Ashley all them gifts, he was being all nice. I was waiting on the other damn shoe to drop. Okay? So, yeah, he wore a mask like a lot of these men will. A lot of these men, they know the right things to do. They just won't do them. They want you to chase them because they feel like they are the prize. That's what I got from Kirstin. Don, he ain't really my type because he be allowing his friends and family to speak for him and have too much of an opinion, and he look kind of boring. And nigga, get rid of them loafers. Okay, you heard what Ashley told you. I'm kind of shocked by Bernicia and Tabari. I found Tabari to be likable, but if he ain't calling her or texting enough, get rid of that fool. Charisse made she made a love connection with Maurice. I wish her the best with that. And that's all I got to say about this show. Don't forget, guys, to like, comment, and subscribe. I am your girl, brand new, and I will check you guys out in the next video.